Ladies and gentlemen, today is Wednesday. It is the 4th day of November already. The year is 2015, and if you can hear the sound of my voice, then you are the revolution. I am Smokin Joe Mekhael. This is the revolutionary nightly news, and this is the fight for freedom. I would like to welcome all of you from all over the world tuning into this broadcast, smashing through the lies of the New World Order, smashing through the lies of the government, smashing through the lies of the Illuminati. All of these interconnected groups that are wreaking so much death and so much destruction all over the world. Before I get into today's headlines, I'm going to discuss what took place yesterday. The bread and circuses that stopped the nation. The Melbourne Cup, of course. Now, every year I talk about what a ridiculous spectacle, what a distraction from real issues this horse race is. But I never really touched on the animal cruelty aspect, because I was a meat eater up until January 1st of this year, and I felt, and I knew that I would be a hypocrite if I was talking about how it's cruel to whip horses and have them bred for the racing industry when I was still eating steaks. But thankfully, I've progressed from there, and I've evolved and moved forward, and I have been a vegan since January 1st. And 2 horses died in last year's Melbourne Cup, and another 2 horses died this year. And it's so disgraceful that people have nothing better to do than gamble and waste their lives and be entertained by animals getting whipped running around a track. It's barbaric, it's disgusting. It's just really low morality to get enjoyment, to get a pleasure, to bet on these animals. I'd like you to consider for yourself, how would you feel if there were some creatures who forced you to run around giving them a piggyback, and they would race you all over the world, pump you full of drugs, restrict your diet, keep you confined. Because the way we treat others is the way that we will be treated. If we don't have compassion, who's going to have compassion upon us? It's only by loving other people and loving other animals and having true care for their well-being can we move forward. Can we stop war? I think it was Kurt Vonnegut who said that when there are no more slaughterhouses, there will be no more wars. And quite possibly it was Mark Twain who said that if slaughterhouses had glass walls, everybody would be a vegetarian. So I'd like to ask you today to please try and move away from things that involve the cruelty to another sentient being, another being that can feel pain, that can emotionalize what's going on. And now let's get into today's headlines. As I run my screen capturing software. 3, 2, 1. Queen Elizabeth found guilty by Belgian court over missing British Columbia miners. Look at this disgusting woman whose family has presided over the deaths of millions and millions and millions of people for hundreds of years. From blogfactory.co.uk, in the second week of May 2014, British soldier Vivian Cunningham was drugged and institutionalized against his will. Apparently his crime on May 6 was daring to ask superiors about Queen Elizabeth's outstanding arrest warrant. The order to arrest Queen Elizabeth was issued in 2013 by 6 judges of the International Common Law Court of Justice in Brussels. After nearly a year of litigation, Queen Elizabeth and her husband, Prince Philip, were found guilty in the disappearance of 10 native children from the Catholic-run Kamloops residential school in British Columbia. Grieving parents haven't seen their children since they left for a picnic with the royal couple on October 10, 1964. The British Empire has killed and raped and destroyed so many innocent people all over the world. And finally, there is a legal movement to arrest the head of this murderous family. I don't believe in man-made law, but I do believe in publishing and spreading the information about the disgusting crimes that these people have committed, especially to children all over the world. And I urge you to do your own research about this, because I don't want little children who don't have the physical capacity to fight for themselves to be subject to rape and torture and murder from these disgusting Satanists who are posing as the rulers of the world. Here's an article. The headline reads, Vladimir Putin, global warming is a fraud, from yournewswire.com. Now, I would like to preface this article by stating that this man Putin is an authoritarian. He is a statist. He supports taxation. He supports government control. He supports the military. He's not a good guy, right? The New World Order is playing the power games among three main groups: the Anglo-American European bloc, the Russian bloc, and the Chinese bloc. These aren't very different from Oceania, Eurasia, and East Asia in George Orwell's dystopic novel 1984. These power blocs are competing for control of the New World Order. And although Putin is saying something right here that's true, we shouldn't look to a savior, a political savior, to come through and make war against the people who are making war against us. I don't want war. I don't want government authority from anyone, whether his name is Obama or Putin or whatever. To quote The Rock, it doesn't matter what their name is. I don't want tyranny. But Putin is right when he talks about anthropogenic global warming being a fraud. Russian President Vladimir Putin says that global warming is a fraud, and the myth of man-made global warming is being perpetuated by the West in order to prevent Russia from using its vast oil and natural gas reserves. Putin has said there is no global warming, that this is a fraud to restrain the industrial development of several countries, including Russia. And of course, if you look at the carbon taxes, if you look at how they want to tax every aspect of human life, you can see that global warming is a fabricated boogeyman designed so the government can create more laws, so they can micromanage every single aspect of your life, because we are carbon-based life forms. And to say that carbon is evil, to say that carbon is destroying the world, is so asinine. It is so ridiculous. But they're pushing this, and they want you to pay for it. They want to tax your food. They want to tax your electricity. They want to tax your breathing, because we breathe out carbon dioxide. Please research this for yourself. Australian soldier who vanished in 2001 emerges as Al-QAIDA commander in Syria. What a disgrace, from nationalpost.com. From the Telegraph. A former Australian soldier who vanished in 2001 and was long thought dead is believed to have resurfaced as a senior Al-QAIDA commander in Syria. Matthew Stewart, a former infantryman who fought in East Timor, is believed to have fled to Afghanistan after telling his parents, Vicky and Peter, that he was going on holiday. His family heard nothing more from him and held a private wake in 2004. But it appears that the 39-year-old who grew up in the Sunshine Coast in Queensland is training combatants from Jabhat al-Nusra, the Syrian affiliate of Al-QAIDA. And this guy Stewart says, and I quote, I'm really happy here as a member of Al-QAIDA, as a mujahid, but most importantly as a Muslim. The United States gives billions of dollars to Al-QAIDA, to Al-Nusra, to ISIS. They give them training, weapons. Who's to say that this guy isn't working covertly still for the Australian government, infiltrating and training these radical jihadists? Or maybe he's not, maybe he's just gone rogue. Because in the end, there is no difference between the Australian army and ISIS and Al-QAIDA and the US army. Anyone who follows orders, whether they're orders from government or religion, to kill other people, to hurt other people, to murder other people, that is evil. Plain and simple. So I urge all of you who are working for government agencies right now, quit your job. Why are you working for people who are murdering others? You know, you are guilty by proxy. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, but I'm saying look within yourself. You don't want to be a part of this terrible, disgusting, genocidal government. You're better than that. I know you're better than that. Political correctness news now. PC police, THOR, heavy metal music, and Viking cosplay are now racist. Everything's racist now. Remember the article I posted the other day how a high school band gave another team's band a fruit basket which contained watermelon, and they were suspended because that was a racist gift. Watermelons are racist now. Yeah, and, you know, Vikings are racist now, and cosplay is racist. Professor says that dressing up as stereotypically white mythological figures oppresses minorities. If you thought you could get through a whole day without joyless social justice warriors declaring another set of random things to be racist, then think again. According to a new study from Leeds Beckett University, THOR, heavy metal music, and dressing up as a Viking are all racist because they reinforce oppression towards ethnic minorities. Calling children boys and girls is offensive to transgender people, so they're going to call them purple penguins. Calling mothers and fathers is offensive to homosexual people, so they've banned those words from French legal documents. Bruce Jenner, a man with male plumbing, was given an award for Woman of the Year, and now dressing up as a Viking is racist. This is an inversion of reality, where mundane, inane, ridiculous things are being pushed as being racist, xenophobic, homophobic, transphobic, penguinphobic, and a skewed version of reality is being pushed. So kids don't know what is right and wrong, what's up and down. They are so mentally fried that they submit to this training. And they say, yeah, sure, being a Viking's racist. Sure, like bombing hospitals in Afghanistan is just standard. We need to fight against the destruction of reality. We need to point out that 2 + 2 still equals 4, no matter what they say. Flu shot leaves another girl paralyzed. From theflushotsite.com. Thursday, October 29, 2015, Brianna Browning, age 9, has become the latest victim of the flu shot. Her parents allege that right after receiving a flu shot, the little girl went from healthy to paralyzed with impaired vision. They are certain the flu shot caused this condition. According to ABC 13, the 4th grader who loves to run, jump and play in the sand got a flu shot at her school on Bolivar Peninsula, October 15. Then her health went downhill. 8 hours later, she was profusely vomiting, and again Friday morning. Saturday, she was paralyzed from the waist down, blind, and seemed like she had a seizure. Brenda, Brianna's mother, told Eyewitness News. And almost every day I post these articles about people dying, people being sterilized, people being brain damaged from these vaccines, and people still stick up for them. People still say, well, it's better than them getting polio, even though the rate of polio-like paralysis has gone absolutely through the roof. It basically is polio, but they don't call it polio. People are being killed. People are being sterilized all across Africa. It's a massive eugenics campaign. The government's trying to kill everyone. There's no simpler way to put it. What are you going to do about it? You're going to watch horses run around to try and escape from reality, or are you going to look at reality in the face? Why don't you look at reality in the face? Because you have the power to do something about it. All you have to do is take that responsibility upon yourself. As early as 2016, robot cops will be patrolling your streets. No, seriously. From the freethoughtproject.com. By 2016, there will likely be a 6-foot-tall police robot patrolling the streets and handing out parking tickets. The Telebot, developed by Florida International University's Discovery Lab, has been field tested and is undergoing final tune-up. With a swiveling head and dexterous fingers, the humanoid robot is controlled remotely by a person wearing an Oculus Rift headset and motion tracking vest, armbands and gloves. The voice of the remote operator is transmitted through the robot to the unfortunate citizen on the receiving end. The menacing look of Telebot is no accident. His design is one, and I quote, that can intimidate and display a sense of authority. You remember the Terminator movies? You think that was getting you ready for something? Predictive programming? They already used drones to kill thousands of people on the opposite side of the world. And when people use robots and machines to kill others, there is no accountability. No one, well, you can't hold a robot accountable, can you? This is what they're bringing in. Robot soldiers, robot weaponry, autonomous killing machines, where we will face a Terminator-esque scenario. And they've already prepared us for this through film and television. I am not going to stand by while we descend into some kind of Terminator movie. I'm going to stop that before it happens. And I'm going to stop it by spreading this information, by doing everything I can to train my body, my mind, my spirit, to fight them 150% all of the time. I am one man, but I'm doing the best that I can. And I pray that I just inspire one person to read one article, to make one decision, to take care of their self better, to take care of their families better. And I ask you today, in these times of great challenge, in these times where a robot-controlled army directed at you and your family is openly being announced, what are you doing? What are you doing to promote freedom? Please share this information. Simply by sharing this information, simply by reading, by researching, simply by training your own body, simply by being healthy, making better choices, making more compassionate choices, we can change the world. I know that we can do it. I know that we will do it. And I know that right now, this very second, we are doing it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please share this information. And remember, the revolution is here. Woo! Yeah.